All right, if you need anything, give me a call.
All right, I will do.
To meet you, and I'll...
All right, thank you.
Meeting you, doctor.
Okay, bye now.
Everyone who walks into Dr. Now's office carries more than just physical weight. They're burdened with years of pain, trauma, and heartbreaking stories. What's truly jaw-dropping is when those hidden truths finally come out, often leaving viewers in tears. These are the most emotional and unexpected reveals on my 600-pound life that will hit you right in the heart. This is Dolly's story. The only thing powerful enough to distract Dolly from darker thoughts is food, and that's why all she does is eat. She is 25 years old and her weight is unknown. She wakes up every morning feeling miserable, and the first thing she feels is pain due to how overweight she has become. Does she still have hopes of getting better? Let's dine out. This is how her story begins.
Cheyenne is a big girl like me too, so she understands.
I met Dolly over the internet. We grew up not too far from each other. We didn't know each other, but the moment I met her, it was just like a spark. We became twins, so we spent a lot of time with each other.
You can honestly tell that Dolly is not happy with what her life has now become. She always wears a nasal cannula that she never takes off because it helps with her breathing. She also counts her steps because falling down with her size could lead to things getting worse than they already are. Dolly finds it difficult to do basic things, so her friend Cheyenne helps her out with the things she finds difficult to do.
It's okay, Mama. Oh, God, okay.
There's a lot to do. I've had a lymphedema mass under my stomach for 4 years now.
Wow! Even her mother can't deny the fact that Dolly lives a miserable life. Dolly's mother cries sometimes when she helps Dolly in the shower. She finds it difficult to believe that her daughter allowed herself to turn out the way she is at the moment. To make things worse, Dolly has had a lymphedema that's been hanging under her stomach for up to 4 years now, and that makes having her bath excruciatingly painful.
Ever since I can remember, food was a coping thing, I guess. It just made me happy. It still does. Food just makes me happy. All I know is I was chunky. My mom was a massage therapist and a hospice caregiver, and she divorced my father when I was
I don't think any child should have to go through that. For Dolly, food has always been her coping mechanism. Even though it's the very thing that has put her in her current state, it's the same thing that brings her peace and happiness. Her mom divorced her father when she was just 2. He was a drug addict, and instead of trying to change and be better for Dolly and her mother, he chose drugs and remained in the streets.
I know that I am special ed because I have mental issues, but teachers made me feel like I was more special. It just made me want to eat more. And by the time I was 7, I was 100. A few years after my dad left, my mom decided she was one that says that she's lesbian, but I swear to you that she's bisexual.
Man, Dolly has had the worst childhood. After her mother divorced her father, she decided to become a lesbian. At this time, Dolly had already started to show tendencies of being overweight. Bullies in her school would make fun of her and insult her by calling her an awkward, fat lesbian. Oh, and let's not forget the fact that she was already diagnosed with attention deficit disorder, oppositional defiant disorder, and bipolar disorder.
She's the most precious thing you never... She's a beautiful child, beautiful spirit. She's just full of life, full of energy. I certainly didn't know her. A mama, basically, again.
Dolly's story just keeps going from bad to worse. Dolly's marriage to her husband was not the best of marriages because he was always calling her names and would sometimes physically abuse her. Dolly had a child, and that was the best thing that ever happened to her. But sadly, a judge declared that Dolly and her husband were both incapable of taking care of the child, so Dolly's mother had to take care of the baby.
Whenever I got out of the hospital, I went home with him. I've been separated from him ever since.
Let's do this.
We both have similar health issues. So when we first met, there was like
We became best friends really quickly because it got to the point where we could finish each other's sentences and we have the same humor and everything.
In all of this, I'm just happy that Dolly is surrounded by people who love her and want to always be there for her, especially with her current health issues. She has a best friend who loves her dearly and treats her like a sister. Given Dolly's situation, that's very hard to come by. Her mother also helps with Dolly's child, and that makes it easy for Dolly to focus on other things since she can't do so much for herself.
It's time to load up. Do not let her out.
no. Thankfully, I'll have my mom and Cheyenne to take care of me on the road. So it's gonna be pretty full in the car. That we're gonna need to stop for something to eat.
She's definitely right about that. If she wants to get better and stay alive much longer, Dr. Now might be the only person to help her with her current situation. Dolly and her mother are heading down to Houston to meet up with Dr. Now and see if anything can be done about Dolly's health issues. Something tells me that this trip is not going to be an easy one. Hopefully her body can stomach the pain before she gets to the hospital.
I'm here at Dr. Now's in Houston to meet and to get my weight checked. I'd be much more than 550.
Step down. We're gonna be going to...
How did that happen? A lot more than I thought I was going to see.
Dolly is in disbelief. She can't believe that she gained that much weight. Even her mother is speechless. After a very stressful and uncomfortable trip, Dolly and her mother made it to the hospital. Dolly hasn't hopped on a scale in a long time. She wasn't sure what her current weight would be. She checks her weight, and to her surprise, she weighs 593 pounds. Now she wants to see the doctor to know if she can qualify for the weight loss program.
Now, I'm going to give you this book. There's a chapter about exercise, okay? Is she going to rebel against functional scenarios that give her what she wants, taking responsibility for her life. All right? So,
Sir.
The ball is now in Dolly's court. The doc has analyzed her, and he knows that she needs to start working on her diet as soon as possible. He gives her a manual that is going to help her stick to the diet, and he wants her to lose 60 pounds within the next 2 months. If she meets the mark, he would then approve her for weight loss surgery. Dolly tells the doc that she is ready, but we all know it's easier said than done.
And I wish my mom would have talked to me or given me some say-so. But I still want the surgery, so I'm trying.
Oh, that's good. That you lost yourself.
Doing what Dr. Now says and what my...
Thank goodness she has a mom who would do anything to make sure that she gets approved for weight loss surgery. Dolly has been doing everything that the doc told her to do. She is not happy about the fact that her mother took away all the junk food. Now she feels like she won't be able to stay on a diet for the rest of her life. All she wants to do now is eat healthy enough so she can get approved for weight loss surgery.
Okay, you can go ahead and step.
And once again, Dolly is in disbelief. She had not been able to meet the target, and she can't believe it because she says she worked so hard. The doc wanted her to lose 60 pounds before her next appointment. She's at the appointment now, and all she was able to lose was 17 pounds. You can bet that the doc is not going to be happy with the progress she has made so far. This must be really hard for her, especially with the fact that she's fighting her depression.
okay, 17 pounds made a little bit of difference in your
sir.
breathing. So, what happened if you lose?
It'll feel a whole lot better. I know that.
We got to get you off of there, and we got to get you in better shape. So
Right.
this is a situation that hard to change your life.
Sometimes you just have to love the sweet doctor. This appointment went better than I thought it would. Dr. Now seems to be proud of her progress, but he also knows that she needs to do better with her diet and exercises. He understands that she's battling with a lot of things, and so he is trying to be gentle with her. Well, let's see how well she does before her next appointment with Dr. Now. Hopefully, she can make good progress before then.
So I'll serve the broccoli cauliflower. She treats me like another 3, and it's not right. The orange plate's mine. Smaller.
She likes it a lot.
Hey, yummy, baby? Move it off my spot. Move.
Dolly might be facing some serious problems at home with her mom. Her mother is being very hard on her, especially when it comes to the amount of food she eats. She treats Dolly like a toddler, and that just makes her very sad. It's gotten so bad that she will make up lies to leave the house just so she doesn't have to be in the same space with her mom. I have a feeling this might affect her weight loss progress.
Put your arms like this, arms like this, forward.
And then he came and picked me up and so been eating less portions like I should. I've been doing my exercises.
Well, we can't say we didn't see this coming. Dolly's mother is upset because Dolly decided to leave her home and move in with her ex-husband, who used to be abusive and toxic. But on the bright side, Dolly seems to be doing pretty well with her weight loss. She has time to focus, and her mother is not breathing down her neck. Could this be all she needs to meet her goal?
At my last appointment, I was 500 and I know this thing weighs more.
Are you ready? Go ahead and step on the scale.
Doctor now told me to lose 60 pounds ago, but if I lost 60 pounds, that would put me down to 560.
And for the third time, Dolly has failed to meet the target that the doc wanted her to meet. Things didn't go well with her ex-husband, so she left him and got a new boyfriend. She seems to be very happy with him, but at the same time, she hasn't made any significant progress with her weight loss journey. Now she wants to see the doc and know if she still has a future with the weight loss program.
I think it is important that you start psychotherapy to go with you for that.
Okay.
And also, I want you to come back with you for your next appointment because I trust she wants to support you to get help.
Well, the doc doesn't seem to be pleased with the whole situation. He doesn't like the fact that she has not lost enough weight, and also that she is not on good terms with her mother. He tells her that if she plans on coming to the next appointment, he wants her to fix things with her mother. Let's see if that's going to happen.
I'm not who needs to be taking care of you. But I just certainly don't think it's that home.
So, what is your plan now? So, it seems like you cannot, and you expect everybody else to do everything, and any decision and be responsible for anything.
This is Irene's story. Irene's weight has reached an all-time high. She likes to be happy all the time, and the only thing that brings her joy is when she eats. Sadly, that has done some serious damage to her body. She's 39 and has no idea what she weighs. Is she going to get better? Is this the end of the line? Let's find out. Irene starts her journey like this.
It's hard for me to do things because of my soul. I rely on my family to help me do what I have to do. All the weight I have on me now, I'm still able to get around.
I'm sure you can see what I mean when I say that her eating habits have done so much damage to her body. Irene goes through so much pain and discomfort every morning when she tries to take a shower. The worst part is that she has to have a bath twice in a day because she can't clean all her body parts from one shower.
I had to move in with them because I wasn't able to take care of myself anymore. Usually it's my niece Mimi or my caretaker. I try to limit it to getting me what I need. But you know, the reality is, I can't do it on my own sometimes. And once I get dressed, I still have to how tired. That makes me, I'm exhausted.
Honestly, it's a good thing that she has family around her that's willing to help her through her situation. Imagine if she was all alone and she had to do all of this. Phew, I'm pretty sure she would have surrendered to her weight a long time ago.
When I'm eating, it helps me forget everything and block out a lot, you know, because when I have any of my favorite food, all the hurt of me is taken away until the food is gone.
You ain't even offered me a piece of chicken. Do you want a piece of chicken? I'm trying to eat healthy for the kids, you know?
That has to be the cutest thing ever, right? Food might be doing a lot of damage to her body, but one thing we can't argue with is the fact that Irene's family knows her to spoil her and treat her like a baby. Now I wish I was part of her family.
My dad started abusing my mom and she left him. And I think that's when I became depressed. I remember the start of my eating. Where it started was at church. The church woman, so she went to church every day of the week.
Man, that's a lot. Irene's eating problem started when she was very young. She always loved food as a kid, but her making food a coping mechanism started when her parents separated due to the fact that her dad would constantly turn her mom into a punching bag.
Both my mom and my sister did, because with my mom, she took care of us. I had to work hard to provide my sister back then. My mom is from an island called Mar, and because she always had to work, you know.
Irene's childhood sounds like a total nightmare. She had the worst high school experience. She was always teased and bullied by her classmates because of her size. Poor Irene. Well, she was able to have boyfriends, so I guess it wasn't that bad.
Even though my boyfriend was abusive, I stayed with him. And I got pregnant when I was 16 and that's when I had Ja'Cory. But after I got pregnant and my boyfriend, I was a single mother at 7.
I take back what I said about Irene having boyfriends. Apparently, she had a boyfriend when she was 16, and he was abusive in every way possible. She got pregnant for him, and when he found out, he broke up with her. Being a mother at that age has to be a lot to handle.
That time was my lowest point, because all my addictions led me to lose my kids. Point Ja'Cory was 18, and I had gone out on it, and I had my 4 other kids. One had reported me because my
Honestly, not a lot of people can survive what Irene went through as a teenager. As a mother, losing your kids because of an addiction has to be the worst thing ever. Thankfully, Irene got sober for her kids. Let's hope she can use that same energy to work on her eating problem.
I pushed myself to finish off the food to make sure it's all gone, so once I have what I want, I'm gonna eat it all no matter what. Able to change it, you know. It's good.
Man, Irene needs to slow down. I mean, we understand that food is her happy place, but that's a lot of junk food. The sad part about her situation is that she knows it's not good for her body, but she just doesn't know how to stop, and that's the problem.
I think I'm around 600 pounds, just not able to function like I need no more. Yeah, okay.
To be honest, that's really all that matters. The fact that she wants to make a change shows that there's still some hope. Irene makes it to the hospital, and apparently she weighs over 600 pounds. She's heading to see the doc to know what her fate will be. Let's see how that goes.
This is instruction you need to go over and set, and this is one for you too. You read this every day, and here's a list of food to avoid. So you read that every night, okay?
Is it just me, or does that sound scary? Dr. Now says that he is worried that she might have a severely compromised pulmonary system. He wants to run some tests to make sure that she is all good before they proceed with how she's going to cut down on her weight. Let's just hope she's strong enough for what's ahead of her.
Well, the tasting has been extra.
I know you're gonna like the meal, like the workout that's gonna come after. I'm gonna try to get you right this morning, all right?
Oh, cool.
Wants me to get to her gym, for her trainer too, but I haven't worked up.
And that's exactly what Irene needs. A friend that's going to stick by her side as she tries to lose weight for her surgery. Irene's friend has been by her side for 15 years, and she doesn't intend on leaving her anytime soon, especially when she has so much she needs to do with her weight.
I'm gonna hand you the ball, and I want you to give me on why you wanna lose, okay? Very important. Here we go.
Able to be with my children.
Hey.
Man, you just want to have a friend like that. Aside from eating, this is the only person who brings out Irene's happy side, and that's such a beautiful thing to see. Oh well, it's time for her second appointment with the doc. Let's see how that goes.
And I'm hoping it's enough to be able to move it and invest with Dr. Now and in his program today. It's gonna be possible if I have the result I'm supposed to. Where I lost 60 pounds. If I did that, I have dropped from
598.
Ouch, that can't be real. Irene seemed to be doing so well. So what's going on? She makes it to the hospital for her second appointment, and the scale says that she lost only 5 pounds. How did they happen?
Okay, all right, then your goal is the same. Lose 60 pounds, then we will move ahead with and consider surgery.
I will try to do better.
Well, she has been given a second chance to make things right. Dr. Now gives her another target that he wants her to achieve within the next 2 months. Hopefully, she buckles up and gives it all she's got.
Weight loss surgery to the better life. I'm fighting to have.
The resistance band.
Okay, you say do what now?
I hit it at your feet.
Okay.
Just stretch your arms.
Now that's what I'm talking about. Looks like Irene finally understands what it means to give it all it takes. She's been working out extremely hard, and this time around it feels like the results might be different. But first, let's see what the scale says.
In my last appointment, I only made it down to 598. Lose 60 pounds by now, 538. From the scale, if I made
591.
At this point, I give up. It's like every time she tries to lose weight, it just blows up right in her face. One thing I know for sure is that Dr. Now is not going to be happy with her progress, and she is going to get some scolding.
Hi, Irene.
I'm good considering.
How are you holding up? You okay?
Yeah.
So how you been doing with your diet since we talked?
Progress, to be honest with you.
This is Michael's story. Michael hates the fact that he has to be taken care of. For him, it is the most humiliating thing to ever happen to him, and it has destroyed his morale. He is 43 years old, and he has no idea what he could possibly weigh. Can Dr. No help him? Or is this fling to be a terrible failure? Well, his story starts like this.
My size, just basic things are so hard for me now. But thankfully, I'm still able to at least get out of bed. I just can't go far. Usually, I can only make it to the couch or the bathroom to freshen up for the day. But it's gotten hard for me because being on my feet gets to be very painful for me, you know?
Trust me, Michael definitely dreads his mornings. He has zero to no strength to do anything once he is up. His weight has gotten so bad that he only has his bath every few days. Man, that has got to be very depressing.
Then things can get bad for me. So Kim has to, powder me up like a baby on the bed.
Oh, baby. Everything is harder for Michael with all that weight. So one of the things is that his skin can get rashy. And so I have to make sure that I help him put lotion on.
Isn't that just cute? Michael's wife says that Michael is her soulmate. She doesn't hide the fact that taking care of him can be very stressful, given the fact that she had to do everything, but that doesn't stop her from being the best wife to him. He is lucky to have her for real.
We have 2 kids too, Xander, who's 17, and Liam, who's 12. So I get the energy to get to the couch, and then I just eat and spend my time there till I fall asleep or get tired and go to bed.
Want me to move that over 3?
No, this is good.
Looks like the only thing that makes him happy is his ability to satisfy his stomach. Even with the fact that he knows that food is killing him, the best part of his day is when he gets to his favorite chair and shoves food down to his stomach.
So I stayed at home, I played video games, and I ate. And that was pretty much my life for a few years. And then things got worse for me when I was 11. My mother had signed me up for a kids' wilderness club thing, and a lot of the meetings were fine. But then we did an overnight camping trip.
My God, I can't even imagine how Michael must have felt going through that. He says that he went on a camping trip and that the camp leader was a pedophile. He would have the boys stripped naked and he would do things to them. Jeez, what a traumatizing situation. No kid should ever have to go through such a thing.
By the time I graduated, I was probably close to 400 pounds, but it wasn't holding me back to the point where I felt like I couldn't live my life because I was able to go to college after high school, and that ended up being a good time for me. College is when I finally got confidence in myself, and I started realizing that my size could be used as an asset because I was able to get jobs doing things like being a bouncer at the club.
Looks like he found a way to make his way to Tool. At this time, he was already 500 pounds, but that was not a problem for him because he was into martial arts, and that made him a better, stronger, and healthier person. But how did that all go wrong?
Kimberly and I actually met one night at a live-action role-playing game. She had heard about me from a friend, and as soon as I went to this event, I see this black blur just bolting at me.
If you were wondering what love at first sight looked like, I guess this is a perfect example of that. They both admit that they met each other through a mutual friend, and from the moment they saw each other, they fell in love. What a cute love story. And all this happened with Michael weighing over 500 pounds.
Pretty bad one, where I roll my car 4 times, take out a lamppost, take out a fire hydrant. So they put me under, go into surgery. I woke up a few hours later, minus a spleen. I was alive, but I was left with all this scarring in my abdomen, and in the end, the scar tissue was too extensive for gastric bypass to be possible. So I ultimately couldn't get to surgery because of that, and I took that news really hard.
I had to shed a tear after hearing that. Apparently, Michael and his wife were both supposed to have gastric bypass surgery. His wife got hers, but Michael could not get his. He got into a really bad accident, and the end result of that was him not having his surgery. That sent him straight into depression, and food has become his best friend ever since.
Today I'm gonna go try to see Dr. Now, and I am not looking forward to it because I don't like going out in public, but I need to do this. So I'm gonna try and go get in the car and drive to Dr. Now's clinic. And Kim's gonna go with me. So we have someone who's gonna watch the boys for a little while. But we should be back later on this evening because it's only about a 45-minute drive or so.
Yay! I'm glad he is ready to take that bold step. Michael is about to make a 45-minute drive to see Dr. Now. He has finally agreed that it's time for him to get better and work on his weight. Well, let's hope his body can handle the stress of driving.
I think that you just need to have the mind frame that you need to have right now, okay? If all you can do is just hope for the next step, then that's where you need to be. You now have hope to something you've never had.
You know, every other doctor has walked away from this. Why should I have any more hope now?
Because this is his specialty. He does hard cases.
Well,
for a second there, I legit thought he was going to turn the car around and head back home. Michael was having an argument with his wife about not having hope, and she reassured him that everything was going to be okay and Dr. Now would take him in as one of his patients.
And I'm about to find out how much help I actually need when the number on that scale comes up.
Hold on, no falling.
I'm just hoping it's not up to anything like the 700s, because that'll devastate me if I see that.
Phew. In a way, that's kind of a relief. Michael is just a little over 600 pounds. He was initially worried that his weight might be heading into the 700s, but thankfully that's not the case. Now, let's see what the doc has to say about his condition.
I can't just have one chicken breast. Yeah. And, you know, it's like if I have a bowl of rice, my bowl of rice can be 2 or 3 cups of rice at a time. So it's just empty carbs. Or it'll be pasta. It'll be a pound of pasta.
Okay, if you say you eat healthy, but you just eat too much of it, then why can't you stop eating?
Well, you really can't blame him for feeling that way. Michael sees the doc and explains to him that the reason he hates stepping out to take walks is because he doesn't like people, and that is because he was molested multiple times as a kid.
All right, so I'm going to bring you some instruction that I mentioned. Then we'll set up an appointment for you to go to therapy.
Okay.
So just try to change the course of the life that you have right now.
Yeah.
Well said, Dr. Now, well said. The doc explains to Michael's wife that he needs to run some tests before he is sure that Michael can even have weight loss surgery due to the accident he had in the past. But first, Michael needs to visit therapy.
Hi, great to meet you guys. Thanks for coming in. Have a safe drive back up.
Hey, thank you so much.
I really enjoyed meeting Michael. He's super smart, and I think that that's going to be an asset to him.
Knowing Michael, that is not going to be an easy task for him. The therapist says that Michael is holding a lot of his last traumas and he is not ready to let go of them. In order for him to move forward, he needs to accept his past and focus on what's ahead of him. Hopefully, he is able to do that.
And that with the scar tissue is going to prevent us from performing weight loss surgery on him. But what we may be able to do is attempt a hernia repair on him and use that as an opportunity to try to remove as much of the scar tissue as we can. And then if we are able to do that, see if all that is enough.
Looks like Michael might not have an easy way out. The doc says that he has a lot of scar tissue in his stomach, and before anything can be done, he needs to lose 100 to 150 pounds of fat before the next move can be taken. Whew, can he do that?
So it feels like every single thing in my life, my whole life is on the poker table. And whether I keep it or not depends on the hand the scale's about to deal me.
Whenever you're ready.
And I'm just terrified that I could be about to lose everything.
Like he said, it's progress, but not good progress. The doc wanted him to lose between 100 and 150 pounds, and he has been able to lose just a fraction of that. Let's see what his judgment will be.
But the fact is still that you have to lose enough weight to take the pressure off your abdomen so the surgery will be possible.
So you don't think 100 pounds is close enough to do the endoscopy?
No.
Okay.
You need to get closer to losing 150 pounds before we're ready to do that.